unforgivable. No way out. No way out. So what's your motive of not coming this morning and getting saved? What's your motive of this morning not calling out to Christ? What's your motive of not believing in the Lord Jesus Christ this morning? And coming asking God to forgive you. See, you're in a battle right now. And you're in a battle for your soul right now. The only problem is, listen to me, right now you're fighting that battle by yourself. All by yourself. And now listen to me. One day you're going to lose that battle. And it's going to be a permanent loss. Oh, you might get up this morning and have a bad day and pick things up, and maybe you're in financial problems, and you go to work and finally find you a job and kind of work yourself out of that financial problems, and maybe you're having marital problems, and maybe you go back to your wife or your husband and you apologize to them and ask them to help you and talk about it, and things kind of get all right. Maybe things are breaking down around the house so fast you can't get them fixed, and then all of a sudden you fix them all and fix that well and fix that hot water heater, Bobby, and fix this and fix that. And then one day you wake up and there ain't nothing to fix and you think everything's all right. But there's a day coming that there's something you're not going to be able to fix. And it's called death. You're not going to be able to fix that. Absolute, permanent, final answer. No lifelines. Today you have a lifeline. And today you'll have the only lifeline. You have the opportunity today to walk this aisle and say, Pastor, it's today. It's today that I want my eyes to be healed. He started that walk today. And I'm going to stay on that walk, and I'm going to believe for him. He wanted me to pray for him back at the back door. And I said, no, sir, you come down that aisle. You come down that aisle. And we'll start a prayer for you. And we'll start believing. We'll start laying hands. Why? Because I want him to put forth his faith. I want him to walk in his faith. And if you have the courage this morning, Brother Don, if you have the courage this morning to get up and walk down this aisle, you're giving an example of faith. You're demonstrating your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, and that's all that God needs. Come down this aisle this morning. Don't put it off any longer. And when I ask you what you're doing down this aisle, you can say, I want to be saved this morning. And that's motive enough for God. That's motive enough for God to save you, sanctify you, and to fill you full of godly wisdom and the Spirit of the living God. To write your name down in the book of life. And to start you on a life of repairing your life, restoring your life, and with assurance and of hope that one day, when I die, death shall not have its final say. What's your motive this morning from not coming and asking Christ to forgive you? What's your motive? What's the reason? Why? Everybody stay right where they're at. Do not move. What is the reason that you wouldn't come down this aisle this morning and say, Brother Johnny, I don't have it right. I don't have it right with God. And God knows my heart. He knows I'm not right. But this morning, he knows I'm down here with the right motive. And the motive is, I need to be forgiven of my sins. I need to be saved. I need Christ to forgive me. What's the motive of not doing that? This morning. Well, I done that many years ago. Was it right? You know whether it was right or wrong. This morning would be a good morning to come down and get it right with God. Get right with God. Ask God into your heart. Ask him to forgive you. Set aside the pride. Set aside the idols. Set aside the selfishness. Set aside the bitterness. Set aside and say, I need Jesus. I need God this morning. Lord, help us this morning to reverence your Spirit in here. And help us this morning, oh God, to respond to your message. We need help. We need you. We need hope. We need assurance. Not in us, not in who we are, not in what we've done, not in what we've accomplished, not in what we have failed. We need hope and assurance in you this morning. Lord, help us make that first step. Help us come in the right motive to be saved this morning underneath the power of his word, underneath the power of the Spirit, and most of all, underneath the grace and the mercy of a living God. As we stand here this morning, would you come down this aisle this morning? Give your heart to Christ. Ask Christ to forgive you. Ask to be saved this morning. Ask to be saved this morning. What's your motive for coming down this aisle? It is to be saved this morning. It is to be forgiven of my sins this morning. Would you come this morning and receive Christ?
All to Jesus I surrender all.
Come on.